Hey everybody, John Grimsmo here. This year for Halloween, the team came together and had this idea and executed it beautifully. I want to show you guys. They went above and beyond, pretty much outside of my involvement, and came up with this. Two versions, actually. Insane. There's a lot to talk about. I want to get into it. Let's break it all down. We're going to talk about the effort involved, the team, Day of the Spider, and a throwback to a previous model. So let's get into it. First of all, let's talk about the throwback. This is a Spyderco Paramilitary 2 that I made these handles in like 2011, maybe 2012, barely. The whole business, Grimsmo Knives, started making Manix 2 handles and a couple other knives, including the Para 2. And I don't even know how many of these I've made, but very, very, very few. And they've even got the old like JG logo down here, the John Grimsmo logo. I don't even know if I did this for Halloween or if I just did it for cool, but basically these are aluminum handles that I tumbled in the tiny little bowl Eastwood tumbler and then sanded the flats silver. And this has been kicking around the drawer and everybody in the team has seen it. And they're like, you know what, this year, let's bring it back. Let's do something really cool. So they came up with just absolute fire. It's an interpretation, a different type of design, but it looks so good. I think I actually like this distressed better, where basically we're doing this, but we're tumbling it a little bit afterwards. Doing a new pattern like this, especially without me being involved, takes a whole lot of work, a whole lot of planning, a whole lot of back and forth with multiple people in the company, and from the vision to the technical, the CAD, the CAM, going back and forth with the machine, picking the right tools, making sure the tools do what you want, making sure you're not breaking the tools, making sure you get all these little details into the corners that really, really help it pop. Including having flat floors, radiused edges, all these fine little details. This is a lot of work for a very limited amount of product. We're only making 13 of these Norsemen. Well, we made them already, and they've already sold by the time this video goes up. And it's like so much work to put into only 13 knives, but it's so worth it. It's just amazing. The other cool thing about this model is this logo. This logo right here is our flagship logo. We've been making these special edition knives for quite a while. We have the 4000 series where we only made 4 of them. We have older ones that we would bring to Blade Show and sell before. But we're kind of wrapping it under this flagship logo theory. So this is a flagship model Norseman. It's a special edition, limited run, special pattern, never going to come back. So it's a flagship Norseman. And eventually on our website we'll have a page dedicated to the flagship knives. With our flagship logo, we also have, obviously, our Made in Canada logo, and then blank of blank engraved on the bottom, like hard engraved. And then what Eric has to do is he has to go in and be like 1 of 13, 2 of 13, or basically we're making these blanks so that we have flagship models kind of pre-staged in this Op 1 stage, where the insides of the Norseman handles are done, but the outsides are not. And then on the other handle, normally, like, date everything you make. I am adamant on that. I'm teaching my kids that. Basically it says Norseman flagship and then the date, and then we're hand engraving the date on the back spine here, month, year, so that it's tracked. Because if you don't know when you made the thing, or you don't know when the thing you have was made, that's dumb. Date everything. So that is super cool. Normally our logo on the inside is like yay, flagship is like yay. One of the cool things with these flagship models is being able to challenge the individuals on the team involved with new problems, new challenges, new tools, new techniques, new artistic creations, and grow themselves outside of the day-to-day grind of making Rask, Norseman, Saga, Fjell parts every single day, which is pretty awesome. However, doing daily production doesn't necessarily stretch you into a new avenue, new tools, new techniques, new theories, things like that. And having these special editions really lets everybody come together and do some cool stuff. it also lets them express their creativity and come up with some sweet ideas. So on top of the knife, we also have our Saga pen. Now, you may be familiar with our Saga pen, one of the best pens in the world, if I may say so myself. We only have 2 patterns for our slider, crosshatch and helix. And mostly it's just because I'm busy and lazy and haven't gotten to it yet. However, Angelo and Jeff came together and they're like, we gotta put a spider web on the slider. And they did. And I actually played with it for a little bit and I struggled because you're trying to wrap a 2-dimensional image around a 3D object and have them match on the other side. And a spider web is all different weird shapes. And then so Angelo just took it and he drew it out on a Post-it note real quick in a way that wraps and works cool and looks awesome. And then Jeff took it and he took a 1/32 ball mill and he just micro machined all the material away until you have these webs left over that we then black anodized, which I'll get into in a minute, and then sanded the top of the logo off to make the logo, the spider web, appear silver. An interesting side note, with having a very bumpy pattern like this, when it's held in the subspindle by the Nakamura, we happen to have a brass emergency collet in there, the pattern digs into the collet and doesn't want to eject the part. Just a funny little machining thing for you. So, black anodized Saga, DLC parts. We've got about half the pens are DLC, half the pens are silver mechanism, and they all have this black anodized slider and distressed black anodize. Oh, so good. So good. It's some of the other creativity by the team. I mean, Grayson knocked the foam out of the park, threw a spider web over not only the lid, but the base foam, and in a matching pattern that looks really, really sick. Deep engraving. Fun fact about the engraving, it went so deep that when he flipped it over to vacuum it down onto the table to do op 2, to machine these things, the grooves they're breaking the vacuum. They're not sealing well. So he's actually been struggling with that to get that to seal because the engraving went so deep. And it's like one of those afterthoughts of like, oh man, you don't know until you do it. And then you're like, why did I do it like that? But that's machining. That's how this works. That is the business of making things, is like try, fail, repeat, do better every single time. So that's good. All these lessons that get learned by challenging yourself and doing new and exciting and different and frustrating things build you as a machinist, as a businessman, as an employee, as an operator, as everything. So do hard things. That's what I tell my son. Get uncomfortable, do hard things. So super interesting thing, we actually borrowed a tarantula. I mean, we didn't borrow it. Our friends Trisha and Adam from Wiccan's Wicked Reptiles borrowed Dave the lady tarantula for this photo shoot, and we'll put a bunch of clips up here of that. Dave is like this full-size tarantula. I'm not touching that thing, but Trisha was very, very happy to film a bunch of very cool footage. So we launched that on our Instagram campaign to launch this product, and tying it all together with the spider web and the big scary spider, which again, I'm not going anywhere near that. But so thank you so much, Trisha and Adam. Those clips turned out amazing, and it was just so cool to see it all come together. So I appreciate that. They also have like 100 snakes and are pretty big on YouTube doing reptile, I don't even know, stuff. Let's talk about black anodizing. It was a myth for so many years. And I want to get into bigger videos where we describe how we do it, because our guy Gabe has been working on it for a year. Testing, not happy with it. I'm not really happy with it. Try it again. Oh, that's better. Okay, that wears down too much, or that's too dark, or that's not dark enough, or whatever. He has now absolutely nailed this color because it is just so black. Surface has to be blasted, and then the black anodizing process, if I remember right, is using manganese sulfate as the liquid. Normally we use baking soda water for all of our anodizing, but this uses manganese sulfate, which I've read is very similar to Epsom salts. And as the part is anodizing and the bubbles are getting formed, it's leaching the whatever from the juice and chemically, molecularly attaching it to the titanium and creating a black bond. So Is the titanium black or is it a coating on top? I don't know, but it's fairly durable. It will scratch, it will look cool, it will wear down, as you can see by this one. But it stays in all the corners and all the details, and generally looks very dark for a very, very long time. We've done a bunch of torture testing. They look awesome. And this one has been distressed afterwards, and it just has all these micro little scratches on it, which makes it look even extra cooler. It's like, we wear it in so you don't have to. We offer DLC on our Buyer's Choice knives, and now we offer black anodizing, and they're two different finishes. DLC is basically the most bulletproof coating out there, along with titanium aluminum nitride and some other stuff that we do. Whereas black anodizing is darker but less durable. And it's under a blasted surface, so it has the rougher texture, whereas DLC is often over our stonewashed finish. There's so many different ways to do it, and in the future I want to do more videos on DLC and black anodized so we can like really dig into it and get in deeper and talk about what it takes to make these finishes and what to expect and what not to expect from each finish. Sometimes DLC is not always as black as you want it to be, but is it ever durable? Like, we throw parts in the tumbler and they come out unscratched. What? Black anodizing doesn't do that. Our colorful anodizing doesn't do that. Like, DLC is pretty amazing, but it's not always what people build it up to be in their heads. Anyway, tangent. I think last thing I want to talk about is the spider web logo. So last year for our Saga pen, the team came up with this Boo logo. So our Boo logo on the Saga pen has been around since last year, and then the guys came up with the same Boo logo, but with a little thread on the top as a spider web, and then put little spider legs on it, which are really just like 2 lines, but in a clever kind of pattern, so it looks like 8 legs, like it is 8 legs. Relatively simple design, but it came out, holy cow, so good. Once I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, you guys, that is so amazing. I'm so proud and happy of what you guys come up with. It's just so cool for me as the owner of this company, along with my brother and my wife, to be able to kind of step back from projects like these and watch them flourish and just check in. Do you need anything? No, we got this. Okay, keep going. Like, thumbs up, this is amazing. And then to be able to make these videos for you where I'm showing like all of their hard work and all of their effort and forethought and micro details, all the stuff that I've been teaching and hoping that they pick up on, they're actually picking up on. It's freaking sweet. So it makes me very happy to see this stuff come together and to be able to release these products to you guys so that customers all around the world can enjoy the hard work that happens at Grimsmo Knives, and just let us keep doing what we do. We are so good at this and we have so much fun, and it's just an absolute joy to see this come to reality and happen. It's awesome. It's awesome. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Black ano or tumbled black ano? Which one do you think? I think the clip on the tumbled black ano looks best. This clip kind of hides the logo, the Boo logo, a little bit. But let me know what you think. Yes. All right, so there you have it, people. Spider Boo Norseman 2025. Already sold, all gone. Sorry, you snoozed, you losed. We launched these on Instagram last week, and boom, gone. 13 Norsemen, 20 Sagas, gone. So stay tuned for more drops, for more special editions, and, you know, if you're in the mood, we also make a pretty sexy Fjell. We also make a pretty sexy Rask, Dragon Scale Rask, Norseman and Saga, and got a few other things in the pipeline that I've been cooking up. So stay tuned. Stay tuned, my friends. Okay, I'm out. Later.